Well, hi and welcome. This is Yvette, and today I would just like to share with you my 5 top meditation tips. These are things that I repeat in class pretty often. They've been super helpful to me in my practice because that's what it's all about. It's not about just meditating once in a great while. You won't really see any results that way. It's about establishing a really satisfying daily meditation that you can see the effects, the residual effects spill out and bless every area of your life. So let's begin. Number 1, the best time to meditate is first thing in the morning. David G., who's a wonderful meditation teacher, calls this RPM. It's an acronym which stands for rise. So you wake up in the morning, you rise. P means literally go and pee, because obviously you wake up and you've got a full bladder. You need to relieve that before you can possibly sit in meditation. And then M stands for meditate. So you can either go back to bed. I prefer to get up and sit in an armchair or a cushion and meditate. And the reason why this is the most ripe time or the best time to meditate is because you've just woken up. So you're in that really fresh state of mind. You've just come out of sleep, you're not quite awake, and it's before you've had an opportunity to plunge into your work emails or have your mind activated by scrolling through your Facebook or your messages or whatever it might be, or reading the news or watching the news, because that tends to really activate the mind and give it lots to chew over. So before you plunge your attention into the external world, do your meditation, RPM. Number 2 is just start with maybe 5 minutes in the morning. You don't need to block off a big amount of time, especially if you find it quite challenging to sit in stillness in the being mode. So just start with 5 minutes, and then as your practice begins to build, you'll naturally find that you want to extend your sit time for a little bit longer. So allow it to just feel very organic and very natural, because you will find that you intuitively just want to stay for a longer sit. So I tend to do 20 to 30 minutes in the morning. I find that's just a perfect amount of time. It doesn't interfere with my day too much. I do have to set the alarm clock a little bit earlier. Sometimes it takes about 5 or 10 minutes to really arrive into your meditation anyway. I love what Michael Bernard Beckwith, who's a wonderful spiritual teacher. He runs the Agape Center for Spiritual Living in California. And he refers to meditation as part of your spiritual hygiene routine. And I love that. He sort of says that it's like our physical routines, our physical hygiene. So most of us would never dream about going out into the world, going to work without brushing our teeth. It's just something that we do automatically without thinking about it. Even if we're late, even if we're busy, many of us just insert that routine before we get into the shower. And we want to get to that level of habit with our meditation, with our spiritual hygiene, so that you just automatically do it after you rise and you pee and then you meditate, and it's just automatic. Even if you have to reduce your sit time, it's just there, it's just inserted at that point of your day. Because when you arrive in the world, you want to come from a place of presence and clarity and that stillness that you've cultivated in your meditation practice. It sets up a trajectory for your day. It kind of spills into the remainder of your day. And then number 3 is find a type of meditation that you love to practice. So if you find mindfulness just really challenging and it's difficult to follow your breath, find a different modality. Guided meditations can be wonderful. Body scans, yoga nidra, sleep meditations if you suffer from insomnia. There's so much to explore. Calm is a wonderful app. the meditations that I'm going to be putting up here as well. So it's a bit like working out, right? Our physical fitness. It's about finding something that you're really enthusiastic about doing. Some people like sports, team sports, some people like yoga, some people love dance, but it's about finding that physical activity that you love to do so that you don't even notice that you're doing a chore or something that needs to be done. Same too with meditation. Find a modality that you get excited about practicing. And then number 4, use meditation tools, something that creates a ambient setting for your meditation. Now you might like to go and meditate in nature. That can be very powerful and profound. You can be like the Buddha with your back against a tree. That can feel so special. Or just hearing the birds first thing in the morning chirping and singing. Nature tends to imbue us with that sense of calm. So it's a wonderful atmosphere to meditate in. You can also have candles, use candles just to gaze upon the flicker of a candle. Or you can have scented candles or incense in your environment. You can have super cushy blankets or socks. That can be very inviting as well. And then that brings me to number 5. Have a dedicated meditation space in your house or your garden, whatever it might be. Somewhere where you have your little setup. So you might already have your blanket is there, or your meditation cushion, or whatever you might be using as a prop. You could even have a little altar if you wanted to get really fancy, a little low-level table with a nice tablecloth, and you could have a candle there, maybe some crystals, whatever it might be. You could have some inspiring pictures, maybe a Buddha, something that indicates that this is your meditation space. But it needn't be that fancy at all, as I say, just somewhere where it's dedicated so that you don't have to think about where am I going to find that's quiet and conducive to meditation. That's just your go-to spot. So thank you so much for listening. I hope these 5 meditation tips prove to be helpful and they lead to a very long-standing and satisfying meditation practice for you. Thank you so much for listening. Namaste.